Hey guys, welcome to the Creative Boss Method and this week's workshop. We are so happy to have you here and joining us this week. This particular topic that we are diving into this week, you guys are really going to love. But first, in case you are new here, I am Crystal. I'm the content director and photographer for Crystal Clear Photography.
And I'm Kayla Butler from ivorymix.com.
And together we have created the Creative Boss Method series of workshops that you've been going through. But first, we, of course, being that we are very social and very interactive on our social platforms, we want to encourage you to do the same and to share your feedback. Let us know your experiences and make sure to tag the Creative Boss Method. But if you also take an opportunity to post something on Instagram, maybe screenshot or do a quick picture of yourself watching the webinar, make sure to tag us, and then we'll reshare it as well and cheer you on.
Yep, absolutely. I love sharing your guys' stuff. It's so fun to see you working on your businesses.
I know, I love the selfies with the screen. So have fun with it. Tag us and let us know so that we can share it as well.
Yeah.
So today's webinar topic, we're going to dive into business systems, which something I think we both love a lot, and it helps your business so much. And we're going to talk about how the different types of systems and tips that we can offer around that to help you start structuring your business to be able to scale and grow and reach all of the goals that you're wanting to reach.
Yes.
Okay, so get your processes in order, girlfriend. So let's talk a little bit about getting your processes in order in general. I feel like when we're small business owners, people don't stop and talk about the processes as much. We feel like it's not exactly the most urgent part of your business. However, it is, and it helps attribute to a lot of the growth that you can have in your business, whether that's growing a team or just growing your business in general around yourself. Processes also help us just stay organized. So let's dive into a couple of the tips we have here for you guys.
Are we switching slides?
Well, we can talk about, do you want to go through the tips real quick? I'll go through.
Oh yeah, I can jump in here too. Well, because I thought you were touching on tip 1 and I wanted to give you space to do that. So,
yeah, absolutely. So tip 1 is tracking all of your processes. So as I was mentioning, when you're starting out with your business, it's important to know what you're doing. And sometimes you don't even realize that going through and, talking to your clients and answering their questions and, packaging things up, getting them shipped and all that stuff is an actual process. So sometimes it works out best to start with sitting down and tracking all of your processes and seeing what you're doing and whether that's keeping a notebook next to you or stopping at the end of the day and kind of going back and thinking about, how do you interact with your clients? What email touch points do you have? What's the outcome of the client and customer experience? And stopping and kind of notating the different things that you're doing in your business.
Right. And and so I kind of want to put this into like a practical homework. And I know that we're going to be talking about kind of homework in a second and in a few slides, but if you're starting with tracking your processes, get your spreadsheets, get your Google Docs, get your folders all organized and start really putting together your standard operating procedures. Even if it's just a business of one, even if you're a solopreneur and it's just you, really tracking all the things you're doing will help you in the long run as you start to grow and really give you a systemized way of doing things. And people, believe it or not, your customers, your clients, your audience, they'll start to notice as you systemize things.
Absolutely. And so tip 3 was just, kind of get outside of your own perspective and of your processes and procedures. So if you're not sure or maybe trying to figure out what the processes would look like or what you want them to be, because maybe you're in that very beginning stage of your business, ask your customers or clients what's working, what's not, and how you can help and how you can fix that to make sure that the process is better. Maybe you need to have, something a little bit better on communication for customer service, how to handle returns and things like that. that. So find out from your audience and from the clients and customers that you've served, and maybe doing a poll to see how you could fine tune some of those processes to make sure that you feel confident in what you're doing. And that way, whenever you're kind of going through and making that documentation and looking at where your business is going to go from there, everything is in line and you feel good about it. So if you're writing down your processes and you're not too sure, or you're feeling kind of like, maybe I'm missing a few things, it might be time to get some of that stuff in order.
Yeah.
So organize your processes with a biz system. So let's talk about 5 reasons you need a system to organize your processes. There are tons of options that are out there. So we're going to just kind of dive through first off why you need them. And then we'll dive into a little bit about some of the ones that we use and kind of give you some, some pros and some, different opinions. And that way you can hopefully figure out what system's going to work best for you. So I'll let Kayla take it away with reason number 1. It's going to be a great place for reference.
Yes. Having all your systems in one location, one file. That's why I've said, create a Google folder. It's going to be a great place to reference for literally everybody in your business and every time you do something in your business. So we all lose track of details and information. So having a system is going to give you a place for reference for all the important parts of your business.
Yep. And it helps keep you consistent when you have a place to reference. I mean, I think most of us out there are moms or dog moms, and we, you have so many different distractions and things that are going on all the time that you're still living your life outside of your business. So when you come back to your business and you sit down and it's been a stressful day and you want to be able to look and see, like, what was I doing? What's the process with here? Make sure that I didn't miss any steps because maybe you're recovering from a cold or, it's been a long week kind of deal. It just makes that great point to help make sure that you can stay consistent in your business too.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be giving them lots of things to help them get organized, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're starting to think like, what are the processes I need to create? What are all the things in my business? Don't worry, we've got you covered. It's coming.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to dive into that in the homework part, which is why we've thought it was so important to give you guys the workbooks so that you can actually sit down and go, okay, what kind of processes should I start with? Like, what kinds of things should I be looking at? And so that way you can start to begin to organize and kind of form that for yourself. But, and that, of course, goes straight into reason number 2, which is organization. It's going to provide a great level of organization. Most everyone I know is very organized in general, but once you start getting into systems and you find a system where you can be organized, you're going to feel just so much more relief doing things in your business, because you're like, I know where I can track my tasks and have reminders. I know where my goals are, because maybe you were in our 90-day Facebook group and you worked on your goals and you've got that mapped out. And so you can have those identified in one place. And then you've got, your business plan laid out for 2020, and you're working through these workshops to get all of that fine-tuned. So it gives you a place to have everything there. It's very clear and easy to find and identify.
Yeah. And so I pause right here for a second. So if people are making notes or whatever, this is a great place to start. 3 areas that you need to organize in your business: all the tasks, tracking things, and all the reminders. Then the second thing would be any goal setting you need to do for your business. And the third thing would be, your business plan, how you're going to make money, how you're going to generate your audience. So those are 3 great areas to focus on organization.
Absolutely. And so reason number 3, scaling your business. Hello. We're all seeking, some level of growth. And again, whether that's looking to hire people onto your team and be able to have people eventually help you develop your products and your services and all of those things, it's going to help you scale your business. Many a times you find a huge struggle in trying to scale your business because you haven't stopped to even look at what processes you have, make those documentations, and then you're trying to train somebody to do something, and it's really hard to do that because you don't know what to tell them, or you don't know what they need to know because you don't know your own processes or have everything in a great place to be able to reference that. I think Kayla can talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah. So like, I'll just speak from example for myself. In order to scale and grow a team and to get people on board to help you, you have to have these things organized, or else everybody is going to be floundering, not knowing what to do. So having one place where you've got everything organized for your SOPs, and what that is standard operating procedures, how someone gets a product completed or a project completed, what are all the steps. So just even recording yourself as you're completing something, screen capturing as you're doing it, that's usually the fastest way to get a process sort of documented. So if that's what you need to do starting now, start doing that, so that eventually when you can hire someone to help you with a few things, you've got the processes. The way that I've started in my business is I started with one little sheet, one little Google spreadsheet, and I just created little sections, or you could create tabs, and it's just like, what are the systems I need? I need marketing systems. I need my membership systems. That's my product, right? And I just start outlining what are the systems you need and start creating that from there. And then all these other pieces are going to start coming together. Your branding materials, your logos, your images, your templates on Canva. Once you've got all the things sort of organized, it's going to start to make a whole lot of sense why you needed this in the beginning.
Absolutely. And I think even when it comes to tracking processes, I used to use a time tracker, which I know a lot of the virtual assistants and stuff are using now. And it really is great to help you break down and see like how much time is it taking me. So when you're looking at getting to that scaling part of things, that will help you a lot too, which we'll talk about next week. But, tracking your time and seeing how long it takes you to do certain things would be a great place to also put those into your SOPs so that you know what that would look like too when you're trying to hire somebody.
Yeah.
So next one is going to be picking a system. And so I've dabbled a little bit in Asana, but I think Kayla, you're using that more recently. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Asana and some of its capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. So Asana is like Trello on steroids. So if you know anything about Trello, then you know how awesome it is at managing a project in a Kanban type of system, which is different columns from not started yet to completed. But what Asana does is it really brings your whole team together in one space to communicate on specific projects, and then you get to tie all of the projects together, so you get to create relationships between different projects. So if you have a marketing project and you have a launching project, obviously launching a product and marketing a product are related, but you might have different teams, or maybe you have a different assistant to help you with your marketing and you're the one doing the launching. So by using Asana, you can connect the two projects with related tasks. So when one task is completed, it sends a notification to the next project and the next person on the project that it's their turn to take action. And it's really just a very robust system, but it's also pretty easy to use, just like something like Trello.
Yep. And Trello is the same way. It's like she mentioned, it's not quite as complex. So maybe you're not at a point yet where you're like, oh, wait, I've got to figure out projects and assign tasks to people and like, whatever. You're like, I just want to get organized.
Yeah.
But you like the view. So really the difference between Asana and Trello versus Airtable is just the view and the layout of things. So if you like that Kanban view and being able to, or Kanban view, and being able to have things in kind of almost like little sticky notes is what it looks like to me. Trello is a great place to start. It's very simple. I started out there as well. It's easy to organize. You can get caught up in customization and stuff, but really it's just a great place to get into a system and start figuring out what you like and what works for you and kind of finding a way to organize and put things in places that you can find it. and they've got tons of, there's tons of free resources and stuff out there to help with Trello. So it's a great place to start. And then Asana is kind of that next level. So when you are ready to start assigning those tasks to you and having those email reminders and things like that going and building out your team, then Asana is kind of that next level. Airtable is completely different. Airtable is what I use. It's just what I have found works best for my process because of the way that I work with my clientele and my customer base. So I use Airtable because Airtable is more of a spreadsheet format, and I love spreadsheets. And I wanted something that also had the functionality to add forms and other things like that to it. So that's why I started using Airtable. As I know some of you who love spreadsheets are going, duh, Google Spreadsheets. And don't get me wrong, I still use Google Spreadsheets, but Airtable just takes spreadsheets a step further. And you can create, Kanban views and other things like that. They do have that capability of you being able to take a spreadsheet, put all of the information in there and create those views. But I like it because things are very spreadsheet oriented with me when I do like a shot list for a photo shoot. It also lets me have a form so I can capture customer information and feed it into that spreadsheet and use it to create their shot lists and stuff. So it really just matters to you as to how you're going to organize your business, what's going to work for you, and how you like to see things. So sometimes it's taking the trials that they give you for each of these and trying it, testing it out, and seeing what ends up working best so that you can figure out what you like. So make sure to take advantage of the trials. And I think most of them are actually free for a good point until you start to scale your business a little bit.
Yeah. And I think a great place to start is to just pick one project that you have that happens frequently. So maybe that's blog writing or something. And just make it a goal to create one project to manage your editorial calendar. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to organize all the things all at once. Just start with one project, one system, create one project, and see if you're able to maintain the maintenance of that project and getting yourself organized. And then once you start baby stepping into the use of it, be like, you know what, I like all the features, it works for me, I'm going to continue now. I'm going to create a new, system or project for the next areas of my business. So just remember, this is a lot of information we're throwing at you, and we're saying, it's really great to get organized and pick your systems and stuff like that. But if you're feeling overwhelmed at the moment, believe me, this is not meant to, make you feel like you need to do all of this all at once. Just pick one thing, start with that, and then make your to-do list of like, okay, next month I'm going to tackle this area of my business, and like creating the processes and systems for that. So anyways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a great point to bring up, is that it's not meant to overwhelm you. I started pen to paper because that was the kind of person I was. I always learned that way. I went to school that way. Like I think a lot of us did. And I loved, different colored pens. And so I was on pen and paper. And so initially I started with my pen, and I started at least writing everything down there first to start. So if that's where you are and you're like, you know what, I can't think about getting into a system right now, that's fine. What we're trying to do is help prepare you so that if your business does start growing and starts meeting those goals and things start happening, that you have some of these things in place, and it makes your life so much easier. We're just kind of showing you, things that we've done, that what's worked for us, or, even some of the lessons of things that we've learned in our businesses, so that you can kind of avoid some of those bumps in the road, or at least have a better plan to tackle those things. So take your pen, paper, write it down, devote a whole page in, the content journal that you have, or the notebook that you have, and write your processes there if that's where you're going to start. But just keep in mind that when you do get to a point of scaling and trying to be more efficient and having reminders and things like that as your business gets busier, you're going to want to go digital, which is why we're mentioning some of these tools that you can have. Because as you hire team members, you can't hand them your notebook all the time. So you're going to eventually want to transfer some of those things over and find a system that works for you.
Yeah, one thing you could do is, if you are using pen and paper, take a picture of the paper, put it into Asana, Trello, or whatever, because you can insert media, and maybe that's how you're documenting it for now, and then make it a goal that eventually you're going to have an assistant come in and just sort of transpose that stuff into text form, or maybe you just do that yourself. But even if it is on paper, you can always document it by taking a picture with your phone. Yep. And uploading it. I mean, this is just easy ways, like I've mentioned, screen recording as you're doing your thing to document your process. You could put those into a Google Drive folder and be like, here's my processes, you know what I mean? So whatever is easiest for you, it's just baby stepping into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much wraps up what we had today. I feel like systems in itself is such a big thing. And some of you are probably like, whoa, I'm not even sure if I'm ready for this yet. So we want to overwhelm you with a lot of stuff. But the best part is that we've got the workbook that's going to go with this week's workshop. And the workbook, we're helping, kind of give you some guidance in identifying like what kinds of systems you want to have in place, what kind of processes you want to have in place, helping you decide, what those processes look like so you can start documenting that and identifying the important tasks and things, all of those types of areas of your business. And I think we're going to throw in a couple of examples between Asana, Trello, and Airtable to just kind of show you like what a simple setup could be. That way you have just something very minimal to kind of start with. And if you like that, you can be able to take that and apply it to your business and kind of get started on your systems.
Yep. It's going to be definitely a go-to resource for getting started.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Well, like I said, that's pretty much it, but we wanted you to see what other people are saying. Everyone's been enjoying the workshops and everything so far, so I hope that you have as well. And again, we want to encourage you guys to make sure that you're tagging and interacting with us or popping into the group. If you're not a part of the 90-day group, make sure that you're in there so that you can ask questions or see what everybody's saying. There's a lot of communication back and forth, or people will pop in and ask for extra elaboration and all of that good stuff as well. So we hope that you've enjoyed this. And I know we've got something a little special that we wanted to offer you as well.
The workbook.
Well, I think we wanted to offer you an opportunity at going ahead and snagging the bundle. So if this is your first time just popping into this one workshop, we still have the bundle available because we see how important it is to have all these different aspects of your business. So whether it's your social media strategy and marketing, or you are at this point where you're trying to get the systems and the scaling and the revenue down, you can still purchase all of the workshops as a bundle for $67. And that way you have access to all of them all the time. So if you're not able to sit down and do everything at this moment, then in the next couple of weeks, as you are able to, you have access to all of the workshops instead of only while they're available for a short period of time.
Yeah, and talk about a reason to grab the bundle if you haven't yet, because if you are struggling with systems and you are struggling with processes in your business, or you're just struggling to grow certain areas of your business, each one of these workshops focuses on growth of a specific area of your business. And it could almost be like your go-to process for that particular area. You know what I mean? So if growing Pinterest is like your next step, then that Pinterest workshop is going to be like step one of your process. So definitely grab the bundle if you haven't already.
Absolutely. And again, just make sure to catch us on social media. Kayla and I live on Instagram. We're usually there every single day, so we can answer your questions there, or you can pop into the Facebook group. But we want to encourage you to share your feedback. Let us know what you think. Take a selfie of yourself watching it or doing the actual work in your workbooks if you've printed it out and bound it, which I know some people have. And then just make sure to tag, the Creative Boss Method so that we can continue to cheer you on and watch your success and watch you grow.
Yeah, and I will reshare that. If you share that to your stories, you can bet that I'm going to be resharing a picture of you working on your business.
Yay! Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this week. And we look forward to getting you the next workshop.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
Bye.